You've been doing everything they told you to do. You've read the books. You've made the vision board. You've forced yourself out of bed before sunrise, whispering, "This time I'll finally change." But days pass, and that spark fades. You feel the weight of starting over, again and again. And deep down, you ask yourself the question that nobody says out loud. Why do I keep doing all the right things, but still feel stuck? If that question hits you, good, because it means this message found you at the exact right moment. Today, we're not talking about little improvements or random motivation. We're unlocking something far bigger. How to progress faster than anyone else, not by being smarter or luckier, but by mastering the one thing everyone underestimates: consistency through boredom. And we'll break it down step by step, 5 parts that will completely rewire how you see growth. Part 1, the myth of the perfect plan. Let's start where most people fail, the search for the perfect plan. Everyone wants the foolproof path, the perfect schedule, the perfect routine, the formula for success, as if Jeff Bezos is going to slide into your DMs and hand you the blueprint to greatness. But there is no perfect plan. There's only your plan, and whether you can stick to it when it becomes painfully repetitive. See, most people don't fail because they picked the wrong path. They fail because they keep pressing eject the second it stops feeling exciting. You start a new habit, then jump to another one. You chase a shiny goal, then another one. Before you know it, you've read 3 self-help books this month and still feel empty. Because success doesn't live in new beginnings. It lives in repetition. It hides inside those quiet, uneventful days where you almost quit. We live in a scroll culture, not just on our phones, but in our goals. Every idea looks shinier than the grind you're in. And just like Netflix, you spend more time browsing than actually watching the movie. If you want to progress faster, pick a path and walk it. Don't peek left or right, just walk. Now that you've chosen a direction, let's talk about what happens next. The part where most people panic and run back to comfort. Part 2, the zone of confusion. Every worthwhile journey takes you through the same valley, the "I have no idea what I'm doing" zone. You start something new, a business, a language, the gym, and 2 weeks in, your brain starts screaming, "This is dumb, I'm not good at this, maybe I'm just not meant for it." That voice isn't intuition, it's ego, terrified because you're finally doing something that exposes your weakness. We were raised on highlight reels, on filters, followers, and instant validation. So the moment we feel lost, we mistake discomfort for failure. But that feeling of not knowing, that's the furnace where real growth is forged. It's supposed to be confusing. It's supposed to be awkward. It's supposed to make you feel like you're walking blindfolded through a hallway of knives while everyone else carries a flashlight. That's what progress feels like. If you can survive that phase, if you can stomach the cringe of being bad, you'll outlast 99% of people who quit before they ever got good. Because the only way out is through. And once you've walked through confusion, the next challenge begins: execution.
Part 3, from execution to strategy.
We live in an age of perfect plan paralysis. People spend hours color-coding planners, watching tutorials, optimizing apps, but never actually doing the work. Meanwhile, someone with half their IQ is out there winning because they just did the thing. Badly, imperfectly, consistently. A C plan executed with A+ consistency beats your A+ plan that never leaves Google Docs. Execution always beats strategy. You think you have a discipline problem, but what you really have is a decision problem. You keep choosing novelty over mastery, comfort over progress, planning over doing. Stop trying to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Because the truth is, readiness is built through repetition, not preparation. When you take messy, unpolished action, you start building something momentum can attach to. And once momentum joins your side, everything changes. But how do you build it? How do you turn consistency into a weapon? That's where the 100-day rule comes in.
Part 4. The 100-day rule.
Here's the part no one wants to hear. There's no secret hack. The real cheat code is doing one thing for 100 days straight. Not perfectly, not impressively, just relentlessly. You show up, you suck, you repeat. Most people can't stand being average long enough to become great. They want day 1 to feel like day 100, the confidence without the repetition, the reward without the grind. But you'll be average before greatness comes. That's the deal. Day 7, most people quit. Day 30, you're in the top 10%. Day 70, rare territory. Day 100, unstoppable. Because by then, you've done something extraordinary. You've earned momentum and grit. You've proven you can keep moving even when it makes no sense. And once you have that, the final piece of progress unlocks. Part 5. Obsession beats talent. Maybe you're thinking, but what if I'm just not talented enough? Talent might open the door, but obsession kicks it off its hinges. The fastest progress doesn't belong to the smartest person in the room. It belongs to the one who can't stop thinking about the work, who keeps coming back when everyone else moves on. When what you're building isn't just something you do, but something you are, you become unstoppable. You can fake motivation. You can fake productivity, but you can't fake obsession. Ask yourself, what do I do when no one's watching, when no one's grading or paying me? If the answer connects to the life you want, hold on to it with everything you have. Because progress that looks sudden to the world is usually the result of 100 silent, lonely days of showing up when nobody clapped. You've now walked through every part of it, from the myth of the perfect plan, through confusion, into execution and discipline. And if you've made it this far, you already understand the final piece, obsession. So here's your next move. Stop collecting strategies. Stop restarting. Pick one thing. Lock in for 100 days, and when it gets boring, smile. Because that's the moment most people quit and where your real growth finally begins.